Good morning, EDU 100 students. This is a video for as we enter week 5 that has two functions. First, I want to take a moment to clarify our Zoom conference and quiz activity that was part of checkpoint number 1, and then discuss this week's readings very briefly, and then the assignment. In several places on D2L on our page, there was information about the Zoom conference in addition to on the syllabus. So the sign up for the Zoom conference was in discussions. It was the first discussion board post. It explains what the Zoom conference was about, and also in my video, I clarified that the Zoom conference was in lieu of taking an actual quiz. The purpose of the Zoom conference was to have an opportunity to meet with me virtually and synchronously, so which means we're talking at the same time, and to discuss chapter 1 of the course text. And that's going to be sort of the structure that we'll continue to use in this course. However, what I noticed is that while a lot of folks, first of all, were able to sign up for a conference and participate, and you can hear from those folks themselves, but they shared with me in the conferences that this was a really productive way to get to talk and share ideas and even ask clarifying questions about the course. And so overall, I heard nothing but positive experiences about the Zoom conferences. And for those folks who were able to join in a conference that had like 4 or 5 people, like those were the strongest ones, because the idea is that we're talking as a group, and I'm listening to you share your ideas and your understandings of the reading and providing some feedback. Those folks who were not able to sign up for one of these scheduled conferences also had the opportunity to sign up for an alternative conference. So that was to provide me with some other dates and times that they were able to try to meet, and I did my best to accommodate the schedule, and a few of those were able to take place. And again, we found that those were quite productive in nature. We had also some students that did not sign up for a conference at all, and I'm not sure what happened, but so that was one scenario. So the Zoom conference, as stated, was in lieu of a quiz. I posted last week, but again, technological errors happen, so I didn't see a lot of response to this. So here's the thing. Those of you who did not participate in the Zoom conference for whatever reason, there is a regular quiz posted. If you go to our class and you go to assessments and you go to quizzes, there is a quiz that is posted there, and you can take the quiz in lieu of the Zoom conference. So I don't want anybody to miss out on an opportunity because of whatever confusion or logistical error that may have taken place. So there is a quiz. It is available. It's based on the reading that was chapter 1. The same things that were discussed during the conference, the Zoom conferences that took place. You can take the quiz, and it is due on September 26th. So you have until September 26th at 11:59 p.m. to take the quiz. If you participated in the Zoom conference with me, right, we met, then you ignore the quiz. You do not have to take the quiz because you've already completed the task by in participating in the Zoom conference. So do not worry, just ignore that reminder is going to come up. There's no way for me on my end to sort of change who this is assigned to at this moment. So that's just to clarify. I also, for any reason, and this is for everybody in the course, for any reason, if you are having technical difficulties with D2L, or this is your first time using D2L, or you're just not sure about how to navigate all the functions, I pretty much use all the functions of D2L, so having facility with this is absolutely necessary for success in an online course. So there are 2 graduate students in the secondary education department, Anna and Sam. They are in Beaky. They are available via office hours to walk you through every function of the interface for this course. They have access to the course, and they can help you sort of get to anything that you need in this course, and so that you can see how to use discussions, how to see the content, where the syllabus is located. And so some folks got an email about this. If you didn't and you're still having questions, I mean, obviously you can always call or email the D2L office. Like, they are your first level of defense, because a part of your responsibility for taking this course and a part of the understanding in signing up for an online course is that you know how to use an online interface. So at the same time, we're all learning how to use things every day, right? And a part of thinking about becoming a good teacher, right? Or even if you're not going to go into education, and just about sort of in whatever field that you're doing, to be thoughtful and understanding of different people's life circumstances, right? I've made this adjustment, but also we have to just everyone has to try their best. So we're going to assume good intentions. So I'm assuming good intentions for everybody, and I want that to be a model for how everybody proceeds in the world, whether or not you go into education. And at the same time, have high expectations for people availing themselves of whatever resources that they could possibly use to be successful, right? So you have the D2L office. That's the first place I want y'all to contact if you can't figure something out on D2L. You have Samantha Elias, Elias, so you can go right into your email and email her, or Anna Rittenhouse, Rittenhouse, and you can send her an email and schedule office hours so she can walk you through any components of D2L that don't make sense. My focus for you all is to make sure that you understand this content for this course, right? Because that is a major part of what is needed so that you're successful in getting an understanding of the foundations of education. So, just to reiterate, Zoom conference, if you completed it already, ignore the quiz. If you, for whatever reason, did not complete the Zoom conference, you should take the quiz. The quiz is available until September 26th, 11:59 p.m. for you to take for the same amount of points as the quiz. If you're having any trouble with D2L whatsoever, whether you can't watch these videos, or you know a video is posted, please contact the graduate assistants in the secondary education department. So they are in Beaky. And I've stated their email addresses already. Okay, so let's move on. The next Zoom conference, we're going to sort of follow the same pattern because this seems to work. So the next Zoom conference is during our next checkpoint. What you will see is that we'll have some slots for you to sign up for. Those slots are going to be consistent with the time slots that were offered for this conference. And if you cannot sign up for a slot, then you'll take the traditional quiz. So that will be posted on D2L momentarily. I'm in the function right now, making some changes and adding some material for this week. So Zoom conference number 2 The signups are going to be available by the time you see this video. They probably will be posted already. And if you cannot do the Zoom conference because of your schedule and you miss it or whatever happens, then you will take the quiz. Okay, so we're going to draw a line under that. In terms of this week's reading, so we are moving to the next module in the course. We are in chapter 2 of Jeannie Oakes' book, right? We're in chapter 2 of Teaching to Change the World. And that chapter is called History and Culture: How Expanding Expectations and Powerful Ideologies Shape Schooling in the United States. There are 3 major chapter headings for in this part of the text: a history of increasing expectations, a culture of powerful ideologies, and teaching for democracy. Those are the major headings. So my suggestion to you as you proceed with reading this chapter, and I'm sure folks have gotten started. I've shared before that you should sort of chunk your text in and not necessarily read everything at one time or try to read it on one day and then complete an assignment. So I'm excited for those of you who have already begun to read chapter 2, as some of you mentioned in the Zoom conference. I have put on in content for 9/24, which is tomorrow, History of U.S. Public Education, a tool. It's called the Cornell Note-Taking Handout. This tool is to help you take notes on the reading. So on one section of the document is where you can write your questions about the chapter. It's called recall tool. So it's a tool for you to recall information. And on the right hand side of the table is where you could put your notes. And so there's some guidelines here that are suggested, and this is coming out of Cornell University. It is a widely used template for note taking for high school and college students, and you may have used this in your high schools. On the right hand side, there's a section for focusing on big ideas, keywords, supporting details. You can use bullets, and you do not need to write your notes in complete sentences. And then at the bottom, you can write a summary of a particular section, and you can use that to sort of condense your notes and make sure that you have like definitions for keywords or unknown words, so words that you are just learning. So this is a template. This is a tool for you to use. There's an example here. This is not an assignment that I'm requiring, but I'm suggesting if you don't have a strategy right now that is effective for you to take notes on your reading, then I highly suggest taking advantage of this template. It's in a PDF form. You can make your own table in Microsoft Word, or you can convert the document to Microsoft Word if you're really savvy about doing those kinds of conversions. But you can make an alternate chart. You can print this out. You can handwrite. You can use the tool in however way you see fit. But the idea is that I recognize that there are many concepts in the chapter, and this book will continue to provide lots of information, and lots of information that may be new to you about the context of public education, the history, the socio-political circumstances, the legal ramifications of public education in the United States. So it's really important to work through that material and document your thinking as you're doing your reading or as you're completing your reading, so that you have some facility with these topics. So the assignment, this is also will be helpful for completing your assignment. So your assignment for this week is, this is where we're beginning our discussion board posts. If you notice on the syllabus, discussion board posts are beginning. So the discussion board is a place where you engage collaboratively with other students in the course. So if you go to your syllabus and you look on I'm moving there as well. Look to page 6. There's a description. You will respond to 2 prompts based on selected course readings in the schedule. You're expected to write 250 words minimum in each post, and your post will be graded on your ability to demonstrate reading comprehension, support your argument with textual evidence and or examples, write clearly, and demonstrate significant engagement in the reading. You will also respond to at least one other person's post in at least 100 words. So you'll do your post of at least 250 words. It can go over, but there's a prompt and you're going to respond to in at least 250 words. And then you will respond to one other person's post. You will not be able to see other people's posts until you post your own. Right? So you have to post first before you can read and then make a choice about which post that you'll respond to. In your response, you can do things such as raise questions, draw connections, agree, disagree, or offer suggestions for other texts. So maybe you've read something in another course, or you've read an article, or you've read a book, or you've seen a film, and you have an idea that connects to what this person posted. All of that information, all of those are potential ways that you can respond to a peer in the course. You can respond to more than one peer. That's fine, but the requirements are to respond to one peer. No matter what, your post and response are 10 points. That's what you would earn for posting and responding. And you are you're also provided with a rubric. Right? So a rubric is providing you with the criteria for successfully completing an assignment. Not all assignments have a rubric, but it's a tool that's used often in education. You may remember from other courses or from your own secondary education the use of rubrics. So the rubric and the guidelines, it's another document that's posted in content. Provides your protocol for participating in the online discussion. So obviously you need to begin with a thread and then respond. You need to be organized in your thoughts and ideas. So my suggestion is to write your post in Microsoft Word first, and rather than posting directly. You need to make sure you answer all parts of the prompt, stay on topic. Be creative, be thoughtful, be relevant, and try to motivate discussion with your peers. Be aware of grammar and mechanics, right? So we're thinking about how using academic writing. So be sure to use spell check so that your writing makes sense. And then use proper etiquette. So you're being mindful of being respectful to other members of the class. So just as criteria on this document as well, you're aiming, right? You want to aim for earning your full 10 points. So the criteria for earning between 9 and 10 points, 7 to 8 points, 6 to 5 points, and 4 or below are listed. I have high expectations for everybody in the course. So I'm looking to see really robust and dynamic conversation on discussion board, and so I'm looking for folks that meet the criteria for 9 to 10 points on the assignment. So that's just the criteria for the assignment. You'll also notice that if you go to 9/26, right? So that's the day that the discussion board post is due. Now, let me start by saying first, don't wait till the day that it's due in order to do your post and do your reflection. So as soon as you've completed the reading is actually due tomorrow, then you can go ahead and submit your post. Folks, the earlier you post, the stronger this discussion board is going to function. So if everybody waits until until Wednesday to post, then then we'll have a problem because some folks are not going to have an opportunity to respond, or maybe only one or two people gets a response, right? So be mindful of that. So here is the prompt. The authors, so the authors, that's Jeannie Oakes, Lipton, Anderson, and Stillman, note that public schools have faced increasing expectations over the past 350 years. And if you know, in the middle of that text, there's a timeline. As society has charged them, schools, with various social responsibilities, such as securing democracy, preserving American culture, supporting the nation's economy, ensuring national security, and addressing social inequalities. That's a lot of work that public schools are expected to engage in addition to the work of teaching the curriculum, right? In your view, how realistic are these expectations? For example, can schools emphasize support for the national economy and international competitive, while at the same time support democratic participation, diverse cultures, economic security, and elimination of social inequality? In what ways might some of these expectations contradict each other? In other words, would a robust equity agenda for schools and society overburden the economic well-being and competitiveness of the country? So that's a challenging question. So you may need to go back for that last question. Go back to chapter 1. The authors distinguish between equity and equality, right? That's defined there. So that might be helpful. I want everybody to try this out. You know that I'll come back after the posts are completed with a PowerPoint to sort of clarify all of the chapter. But we start with you engaging in the reading, then doing some writing about your reading, and then getting some clarification, some feedback from me with a PowerPoint that summarizes the reading. I've set the due date, as I mentioned. Instead of 3:30 p.m. on the 26th, it's 11:59 p.m. So you have some additional time, excuse me, to get this done. I think that's all for this week. We're sort of, I would suggest that, we're sort of at a really critical moment for everyone to sort of have a clear understanding of how the course is organized, and some clear expectations of what's due and when things are due, and you'll have your reminders pop up on your D2L page. And I also hope that you get a sense that there's many opportunities for success here. So I want you to sort of hear me in saying that I have sort of a reasonable disposition, right? I'm reasonable about you doing well in the course. So, but I need y'all to meet me halfway. So for those who need to sort of trying to pull themselves together, this week is your moment to do so, right? This is your moment. So with that, I will say have a good week, and I look forward to seeing you and hearing from you and reading your thoughts virtually. Take care.